Hi there. You're always 1 second away from meeting an angel, having a little more fun, being able to breathe more, even though you're breathing every single moment, your whole life. To just let go, though, of what you know, the fixated knowing, the fixated thinking, the fixated reacting, resisting, judging, worry, fear, stress. That seems to be pretty predominant in every company, every industry, every organization, even the spiritual industry itself. Um, There's a knowing that precludes possibility that is the main currency of politics, of science, of spirituality, of athletics. And yet, each of us has no limits. And you knew it as a kid, as an adult, part of becoming adult, or at least serious stuff happening to you along the way in your teens, early 20s, is that tightening up and letting go of an open mind and letting go of walking a smoother path. Things have to be harder. You have to work harder. You have to do this. You have to do roles. You have to act a certain way, behave a certain way, or even do a profession a certain way when you were meant to be an artist or a scientist or whatever. Um, I'm here to kind of point that out. I'm here to take you through some steps, meeting angels, seeing angels, practicing no limits. The universe is really big. We're all 1 second away from having a miracle. The miracle could be just me lighting some sage, you catching smoke through two screens. It could be me pushing light to you through two screens, you seeing light on my hands, then you seeing light around you or on your hands or on trees outside, or I've got a hummingbird feeder that's like Grand Central right now with hummingbirds coming in and out. Um, Everything is a miracle. Let's do Einstein for a second. Everything is a miracle unless you're doing some thinking. And I'm kind of chopping his quote up. But if you're doing thinking, you're up here. That means you're not here. And this is the only place, the heart, where you can do allowing, where you can do breathing, where you can do smiling. All the seeing I help people do, full on seeing to a little bit of seeing and everything in between. That happens when you're here. It's the Zen thing, seeing without seeing, hearing without hearing when you get your answers. So for the practical folks out there or the skeptics, you can have any answers to any questions, all languages, all dialects, humor. And I think what's more important than all that, because that's a big carrot, but I've been doing this 15 years and it's not crickets. I've gotten thousands of yeses and I've gotten thousands of no's. So it's kind of half crickets and half, oh my gosh, wow, miracles. But the person who's yelling miracles one moment a week or 2 years later could be back and thinking and say, no thanks to angels. I get no thanks all the time. If I go to the UFO expert podcast show host or just whoever about aliens, UFOs, is there life beyond humanity? And you offer them a chance to meet a Pleiadian, a Lyran, a woman from Sirius, a woman from Andromeda, a woman from Orion, an Arcturian who's super cool, tries to hack human humor, a light being, or angels. And angels, some of their backgrounds are off-world, their origin stories. They're angels today. It just means unconditional love. They don't want to interfere. You're good where you are right now. Trust that this is so. If you ask somebody from the UFO community, hey, do you want to meet angels? Do you want to see ships in the sky? Do you want to see colored lights? A lot of times they're like, no thanks. Or they won't even respond, or they'll be like, go away. It's same thing with the scientific community. Hey, did you need help with your formula? I don't need to ever see a question or an answer to help you get what you need for business, for career, for which college to attend, which course should you not take, which course should you take. I ask you to give it a fruit name, papaya, mango, a code name. So I just am like, hey, what's the next topic we're going to cover? You say kiwi. Well, the universe and angels know what kiwi is. You know what kiwi is, and you just have to have some guts to be here. As I've always said for 15 years, you deserve the local town monument erected in your name and your image for being bold enough to sit still, go full stop, not silence, but actual stillness, to cultivate your awareness, to tap your inner authentic self, to tap that inner fearless, peaceful warrior that you already are as an athlete, a musician. When you make a great salad for 10 people waiting in the next room, when you pet your dog and really love your dog, you're in that moment, in the present moment. When you intersect with all there is, you're here. It's when you can't fake a laugh. Some people can, but if you hear a dad joke and you're laughing, you're here. It's why I tell dad jokes. It's why I do humor. There's a few small 5% crowd. This I don't spend any time on. There's some people who are like, oh my God, he does humor, dad jokes. He's the child version of spirituality or something like that. That's fine. think whatever you want. Guess what? People already do. I'm not here to change a single person's bit of thinking. I actually wouldn't want to change how anyone rolls, but I can offer an open mind, whichever way you want to read into that. All you have to do is have one to have an experience with the universe, which is really big. You get to full on see hundreds of angels. I mean, you have time usually for 5 to 25. You can meet Mary, Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, Native American chiefs, 40 figures from India, Vishnu, Krishna, Ganesh, Lakshmi, Rama, Sri Kaleshwar, Sri Shirdi Sai Baba, the one from 100 years ago. The point of this exercise isn't in getting their titles or pronouncing their names correctly. I used to say Chogyam Trungpa Rinpoche, and it's Rinpoche. Whoops. I had a show host berate me for not using the Sri Shirdi when I wrote Sai Baba. But characters count on social media. And, what are you going to do? There's the Sai Baba from 30 years ago. There's the one from 100 plus years ago. And I think the one from 100 plus years ago trumps the more recent one, my opinion. I just do the intros. It's like what I did in public relations. I would have a reporter on one side and a business person on the other, mostly lawyers, venture capitalists, whoever. Did a congressman and an OECD secretary general from Europe for Financial Times or something. And I'd, get them together and maybe a quote would happen in the newspaper. I'd put them on CNN. This is back when the media was normal. And that same introductory sort of skill set is what I do today. Humans on one side and loving beings on the other. Fairies, a jinn or elemental, jinn's probably a better way to say it, who represents East Asian mysticism. Been around for eons. He's like the Energizer Bunny meets the Encyclopedia Britannica. Now, the opportunity for growth and the situation is, no matter which way you want to slice it for mankind, is way too much knowing going on. Not a lot of listening happening. All hat, no cattle, as they say in Texas here. We have tons of folks running around and they're chasing at the thinking level, which is like a snail's crawl to get stuff done. And that's the way it's always going to be. But if anybody wanted to yell, "Whoa, Nelly," and slow their horses, slow their roll, go full stop, just ask an angel and shortcut the whole Monopoly game, collect 200, get another roll. I don't know how else to say it. So have more fun, smile, breathe easier, walk a more peaceful life. Want to start a new business? Want to hear how to raise the funds for it? Where to go on vacation? Imagine the possibilities. And this is the imagination, creativity, love, hope, positivity itself. That's abundance. Everything I'm saying, if it sounds sharp, it came from angels. After 15 years, some of it actually sticks. So positivity is abundance was Archangel Michael or Gabriel who said that. Everything happens, though, here and now. So a little bit of Ram Dass, you can meet him. It's Plato's cave. You can meet Plato. Plato's cave is such a great metaphor. You got to get out of this mind, and it's bigger than you think it is, and it's more like not pitfalls, but it's like a dark cave. And you think it's totally real. You think everything that you know is fantastic, but so do 7 billion other people. And if you back up enough and take a look at the thought forms that everybody has, the New York Jets are no good. The New York Giants are great. The New York Jets are number one. The Giants are no good. I don't eat sushi ever. I don't eat sushi on Tuesdays. I love sushi. I only eat mackerel, but not tuna. All the thought forms, the contrast, it's wonderful. It's a whole wild smorgasbord. And again, I wouldn't want to change a thing, but at some point you realize thoughts are thoughts. And what is love? What is allowing? What is being? To be or not to be? I guess I could do Shakespeare. I don't think I've done Shakespeare, but you can meet Elvis, Anthony Bourdain, Debbie Ford, and some other really fun folks. Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Socrates, Plato, and so on. It's all direct. So where I'm off the hook is I've got photos of angels, not just balls of light. This is another thing. People say orbs all the time. Yeah, those are circles of light. That's great. Okay, but this is light energy form. So one angel that shows as a ball of light. One moment, full silhouette. There's my guardian angel, Min. Only complex name out of 300 plus angels. Everyone's got a big team. I would love to talk more about that. I'm still getting off the ground 15 years into this, and I do wonderful work for folks. For as many bullets or criticisms I've gotten, I've also gotten a gajillion compliments and people yelling miracles. So I'm thankful for all of it. I'm thankful to be right where I am right now. Here's 4 archangels: Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, Uriel, Zadkiel, Shamiel, and Jophiel are cropped off down below. Rainbow pie slices. I just had a guest on who was like, I have the same sort of photo, but they're this way. And that was really cool. So you'll see stuff like that in my shows. Guess I think it's 95% of my guests take steps in the shows on camera, off camera, or both. Um, People can do this as a group. I have a photo of a fairy. It's all different shapes, sizes. I used to hand the camera to folks. I've been really lazy the last like 7 or 8 years. If I had a team of grad school students and I thought this was really important to do, we'd get another 10,000 photos. I probably have at least 1,000, 3,000 photos. I don't know how many more any. I don't know how many I have anymore. Here's a fairy named Ginger, and I've got one of Tinkerbell. She exists, an Omega Institute staffer. I think it's down in Florida now, has worked for some of the institutes. Her last line of her testimonial was, and Tinkerbell was my very favorite. And she grew up, I think, on Tinker Lane, loved Tinkerbell. I had no idea. You can full on see, but when you see fairies, it can be 9 different ways. A little ball of light, you can see them as a teenager down the street, 2 houses down, leaning out from a tree, pop their wings out, turn into a ball of light. You can see them the classic animated way, this big in your palm, and your jaw drops in reaction. Something that I do for guests on the show at the very end of either a session or off camera or on camera, have them cup their hands and a lot of light comes in. And then angels in the universe make their cheerleading squad, make something made out of light. Rotating, it could be a lotus flower, it could be flowers, it could be a hummingbird, it could be a dragonfly, it could be somebody got a running buffalo, 2 people got phoenixes. Or maybe phoenixes were this way. I show light this way. It's kind of like a Celestine Prophecy, the movie. But as a guest said from last year in 2024, hey, in the 1970s, we were doing this way, seeing light between the fingers. And I'll do that in a little bit. Uh, we were doing that before the movie ever existed. And in India, they do it this way. So what I'm trying to say is there's really not a lot of, either there's a lot of reinventing of the wheel or there's not a lot of reinventing of the wheel. I'm not sure how to say this. It just is. And you don't have to go the Buddhist route. You don't have to go this route or that route or this institute or that workshop or this seminar or this video. My big shtick is staying out of your details, not telling you anything. And yet here I've got a gab and yabber dabba do for, well, 15 years total. And then for maybe 3 years on this channel. I think I've got about 400 shows. I'm going to guess, I think 221 just came out on the regular main show. Angels, Positivity, and Love. Mark Anthony's back on. He's incredible. Pulitzer nominated book, headliner for many events. Absolute Psychic, been tested at University of Arizona, I think it is, by David Schwartz, if I got it right. Just incredible stuff he shares on air. And that's what's so incredible about most of the guests, all the guests. They're sharing a lot of personal anecdotes, times that they saw angels. They're taking steps on air. They're smelling sage. So let's go ahead and get going with some doing here. And what I'm going to encourage you to do is, yeah, I talk a lot and I'll do a lot. That's really to tie up your brain so your heart can leap forward as the Olympian that it already is. Your heart already knows how to do all this stuff. It's basic hearing, basic feeling, basic seeing. I'm doing this for accentuating it. Basic seeing, feeling, hearing, seeing, smelling without smelling. I've lost my taste and smell for the last 7 weeks. Whoops. Angel said it'll come back. When I broke my ankle, Angel said I'd be able to run 100-mile weeks like the next year. And sure enough, I did it. Not that anybody should be fooled by that. I don't run 100-mile weeks very often. I think I've done it like 3 times in my life. But since I was 14, 43 years ago, I've been running a lot and probably done like 300 races. And for my age, really pulled off an incredible workout around June 7th. And then bam, 2 days later, went down for the count. I think I did a 4:59 mile and a 5:11 mile, but that's deceptive. That was at the quarter mile repeats level. And we tend to add that stuff up. It's a long story, but I ran super quick, did a great job, super excited, was super excited for summer training, and then just got a big timeout from the universe. So I'm thankful for the slowing down of my schedule, taking more naps, enjoying outside when I can. And here I am for you right now because we're going to take some steps together. And I want you to realize that no matter what your external details are, it's not fixed. You actually are like a little nuclear power plant here. And wherever you put your focus, your time, your energy, that's the direction you're going to go. Now, maybe you got to get unstuck initially. So maybe it's a little bit more like a four-wheel, really cool Jeep Wrangler, decked out, favorite color, whatever vehicle you like that's four-wheel drive. Now, the back wheels happen to be stuck in some mud. You got a real situation. Divorce, health crisis, this, that. Mike, you don't even understand. I'm in the the Congo DNR, whatever the name of the country is, the middle of Africa, and there's a civil war going on. I'm trapped. I mean, it could be anything. And it seems dire, and it is dire. People could be dying around you, or you've got, a significant health injury to the arm or something. But the universe is still bigger than that. And this is what I'm trying to talk about is love. Love, 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 like Ben Stiller in The Heartbreak Kid. Love is an absolute constant in and around you. And if there's one thing, it's important, yeah, sure, that you could smell some sage. It's great that you could see an angel or see an angel standing behind me. It's great you can get your answers anytime you want. By the way, 24/7. Do you have the guts to actually get out of here, go here? It's what you do when you brush your teeth. You're not thinking about anything. You're just looking at the bubbles. Or you fall asleep at night. I mean, how do you fall asleep at night? You let go. That's the level of difficulty for letting go. Like putting the toast in the toaster, taking the toast out without burning your fingers, buttering your toast and eating it and saying yum. That's it. You do it all day long. The letting go is really easy. But there's something called the ego thinking, societal thinking. So there's a slipstream of global unconsciousness that people tie into, especially when they join organizations or think they need to go learn something from any one of those massive, amazing organizations that do tons of good. They'll grab 100 instructors, put an umbrella out, and you can go learn to do a class with them. But I'm telling you now, you came in like Einstein with 6 PhDs. You already know how to do all the listening. You know how to already see an angel, meet an angel. You can see angels in full human form. I probably forgot to mention that. They can hold your hand one way, you close your eyes and you feel a human hand holding your hand. Or as a human on the beach, I had a guest on the show who did that. You can have your hand held. You can get any answers to any questions. You just need to know how to let go or to trust more, think less, smile more, think less, breathe more, think less, grow your awareness, not your thinking. Let's do some brass tacks here. Not really. Let's do some sage. Let's light some sage and let's start taking some baby steps for letting go. Again, I could do this all day long because I'm looking at humanity and I'm trying not to judge. I am laughing because literally imagine the leaps science could take if anybody wanted to listen. Imagine the leaps that the UFO UAP community could take if they wanted to pay attention. Now, some are. Skywatchers is running around doing their, I forgot what it was, a frequency broadcast and bringing in ships in the sky. But you don't, if anyone thinks you have to have a frequency, okay. That's what you think. But do you really think, to do more thinking, do you really think it has to only be one way to bring in ships? Not really. If you have a big heart and just vibe it, you're the frequency. Love's the frequency. And by the way, we're only talking love and above this side of the universe, the force, not the dark side of the force, not Darth Vader and stuff like that. That stuff exists. Don't put your focus too much on it. If you're worried about your boundaries, ask Archangel Michael and Gabriel to help you out. Try not to dwell on stuff too much. If you keep thinking about a twisted ankle on the trail, eventually you're going to get a twisted ankle. What you put your focus on is sort of what you attract. So you have to learn how to just to breathe, trust your heart, be in your heart and relax. A lot of it is I had an amazing guest on, Kevin Russell out of California. He's been on a couple panels before. We have mind, body, spirit panels. I have my 20th taping in August. I'll have about 80, 85 of the APL Spotlight series done by the end of August. I have 221 shows out as I tape this now, and the main show, Angels, Positivity, and Love. I think this will be my 60th solo talking to you. And then the show itself, the main show is booked all the way to September of next year, 2026. So that's 341 episodes that are spoken for. I love having guests back on who are playful, can take steps, aren't afraid. Certainly, I don't want anybody to feel like they have to do anything. I've only had to re-record once. The person caught sage. I put my hands up. You could feel my vibe. They saw my light on my hands, and they basically were like, "Oh, wow!" And that was it. It looked pretty easy, and I thought it was pretty simple. But the person or the staff got back to me and was like, "Hey, you got to cut that stuff out." And I was like, "Oh, we can just skip the whole thing." And they were like, "No, no, no. That person wants to do the show." So we ended up re-recording and it worked out. Okay, so I want guests to feel comfortable and be happy. At the same time, I want mankind. I'd love to rid the world of anger, and that's one of the things that I'm, quote, here to do according to angels. Good luck with that. I think all I can do is tell dad jokes, blow a little bit of sage, show a little bit of light. You meet a couple angels, and then you got to take it from there. you got to run your own show. It's like one big Barnum and Bailey circus. There's a lot of action going on up here, but the real fun, heart of the matter, is right there. Okay, so catch some sage. It's not about the externals, I guess. It's about what you've already got going on inside, the intangibles. Okay, here's a little bit of sage. Leave your eyes on the smoke. No try Yoda. Always try Archangel Gabriel. It ain't about any of the words. But I want you to set your intent. It's the only time I ask you to do anything organized. This is it. This is the entire kit and caboodle. If I talk for 20 more years, I don't think I've got anything for you, but this one rule. Set your intent and just silently or out loud, if you're not used to this, ask angels to help you out of your head and get you into your heart. Take care of your thinking. Just, hey, angels, get me out of my head into my heart. Help me smell some sage. Thank you. Amen, rock and roll. Thank you. Om Sai Ram if you're from India. Catch some sage. And this is where I do a plug for the show and the channel. If you could do an emoji like a fire symbol, that's good enough to acknowledge maybe you smelled sage. You're not committing in words. But if you're gutsy, plenty of people have done this. Hey, I'm smelling the sage. Hit the like button too. Subscribe, share this with someone who's into the woo 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 or indigenous stuff or ayahuasca, because you can have the ayahuasca trip without the ayahuasca. It's the same thing with skywatchers. You don't have to have the frequency to bring in the ships and look out the window. I had a guest, I don't think I'm going to name the guest though. I had a guest whose UFO background amazing. And she got to look out her window and see lights, not ships for that person that time. She got to see lights out the window in the Southwest US, to give you a hint. And that was really cool. We didn't get to see it on air, but you can do it no problemo. Take some baby steps first, catch some sage, um, see some light, get some hugs from angels, ask angels what you need to know to let go. I've had a lot of guests, maybe 30, that have done steps with me and then they can't show up on the show. I've had probably about out of 341 shows lined up, about 260 or 70 taped. I've got a bunch in the future ready to go that are teed up. I've probably had another 30 to 50 guests who just for one reason or another can't show up, change their mind, got jittery. Fear kicks in, thinking kicks in, welcome to being human. It's a really high percentage for a podcast. Also, I have a really low percentage for guests or their staff that'll come in asking to put somebody on the show. It's awesome in one sense. We're off the radar and the tiniest show in the world, and yet we're doing the most unique stuff. So, back to catching sage. If you're nervous, exhale like a whale. I'm going to tell you a dad joke. Where in a hospital is the worst place to play hide and seek? Where? In the ICU. Now, as you're laughing, now leave your eyes on the sage. Now, if you want to close your eyes, catch a campfire smell. Sage, sweetgrass, juniper. Let the sage become pine, cedar. It's not me doing it. Let angels be like angels. Make it nice. Hey, angels, shove me over the fence so I can actually smell the sage. Ask for it in an energetic form. A few people taste it as I'm just starting to light it and they're hypersensitive. So what will you allow for? Play this over again. I've got specific videos in the shorts section, and I do it during a lot of the shows. I forget sometimes to blow sage. Follow along, follow with the dancing ball on the screen, and go ahead and get that sage done. While you're doing it right now, close your eyes. I'm still got it lit down here. Close your eyes though and catch flowers. Let angels come in. If you need a visual, here's Joy. She's the very first angel I do. She's the emotion Joy. You'll hear a high, peppy 28-year-old voice. Hey, ask her to bring you flowers. Catch flowers from Nantucket, Rosa rugosa, hibiscus if you love Hawaii, from Hawaii. Ask for your relatives to kick in and bring you something that has significance, that wisteria vine at the summer house up in the mountains. You get the idea. Just angels are like already there. They already know your entire history. They know your entire future. They know your waypoints on your assigned unique life path. It doesn't mean everything is fixed. A lot of stuff can be altered, and that's what's cool about angels is they can alter your life path. Most people don't even give that a chance. Some stuff's written. I had a doctor, psychologist, what else could I say? Hardcore scientist. I don't want to say which type of person who had that Michael J. Fox disease. So heavy shaking, and that's it. I mean, semi-paralyzed. And it was part of his or her life path. And that wasn't going to be altered. But they were able to have a direct conversation with like a Joy or another angel and hear how to at least reduce the shaking by a certain percentage. And that was kind of cool. People have gotten healing. Colorblind people have seen color, I think, 3 times. I don't know where that falls. You have to ask if it could be permanent. But you can see universal light, different colors, different shapes that come out in the flow or the slipstream of light between my fingers, or just doing it a different way. Um, you can see colors from other dimensions, and you can do interdimensional, not travel. You sit still and you can meet up with angels in a desert oasis, Thailand, Cambodia, India, Middle East, Akashic Records. 5, 10 minutes of our time is, 10 or 15 minutes over there. And instruction happens that way. You can sit around a fire, food, have a little celebration. My favorite is Hawaii because you can surf like a champion. You don't need to know how to swim or surf. You just surf like a pro. And I think that's the bigger metaphor on this whole thing. Have more fun, have your cake and eat it too. And your heart already knows how to surf. You know how to surf. You can see your soul with your eyes open or eyes closed. Everybody in America loves doing listening and seeing with their eyes closed. I get it. That's fine. But you can just see your soul in the blue sky, and it'll look like an aurora borealis. You can see your relatives full on out there. Angels, it's, the further away, the easier it is for the ego. But if you're cool as a cucumber, it could be just 10 feet away. And you can meet angels in full on human form. I've had that happen a bunch. I was at a Starbucks in Northwest Austin. I had an angel named Charlotte come in, full on human, sipping coffee, staring at me while I'm meeting a book editor. And I asked the important questions in life, not who killed Kennedy, although that's coming out as we speak from the US government. MLK, that's coming out. I think we kind of have the gist of it. It's never quite how you think it was back in the day when you're in high school. Always seems to be a little more interesting, the actual truth of the matter. But I asked Charlotte, hey, do you really drink the coffee when you're here? And she said yes. So some sort of house rules when they're kind of materializing into human form. I didn't know light beings could show up as full humans. They can. I didn't even know about the galactic stuff that much. It's not that I thought we were the only casino on the Vegas Strip, but hey, I guess I'm not shocked. I think everything takes about a year, 6 months, 2 months, a week to kind of get over, to allow for more possibility. And then you don't want to spend too much time thinking about the negative or being connected to the negative or judging stuff or worrying about, well, what's this all mean? You want to try to cultivate a lighter you that was always there. You had it as a kid, you had it when you were on that athletic team, you had it at your second job when, everyone said yes, everything you touched turned into gold. You had a lot of fun. That never went away. So that vibration, that being in love with life and in each moment and having an easy time, you can have that back in a heartbeat, no matter how bad the relationship setup is, no matter how bad the finances are, no matter how bad the health situation is. The health situation half the time is a function of thinking, and it's actually trying to help you out to slow your roll so you'll pay attention more. I mean, what are the ways available for the universe, your cheerleading squad, Aunt Martha, Plato, and light beings, whoever's on your team, guiding you invisibly? What are the ways they're going to reach you? They're not going to just pull up in a truck and 90 of them jump out of the back of the truck, knock on your door, fill your living room, sit you down and have an intervention. It's not going to happen. You could ask for that, by the way, and maybe it would happen. First person to say that happened, I'll do 2 free services for. So that's just not going to happen. And you can have them though knock on your door, show up as a human, have a cup of tea in your like kitchen, but you got to be on a roll with all this stuff. Let go. My point is the universe works in strange ways. Sometimes you need that car accident. You need that bad vendor that you hired to come to your house so you get stuff sorted, and then the real vendor comes along to do it the right way. And I had the strangest thing happen at my first house in Austin, Texas. I would have stuff break. The little canister, I forgot what it's called, on an AC unit outside. It's like a capacitor, I think it is. It's anywhere back in the day, it was like $80. I think it's like $120 now or somewhere in between. But my capacitor would break, and then half the time it was the vendor who actually needed help with something. So I was paying to help people. I thought that was the best. And I had this one guy, an Army Ranger who's a manager, never out on the road, but he knew his stuff. I guess he had been a technician on the front lines for a while. And I guess they were shorthanded or so many calls with so many service requests going on that he shows up at my house and we get talking. And he needed some help from angels. So he got everything that he needed directly. And he had spent time in Mexico when he was younger. And he drew me a beautiful picture of the mountains and what he had seen as a child. A lightning bolt had come down, and he saw a soul go to heaven. And it was an older man, a valley over or something, that the family knew that had been hit by lightning, and it was his time to go, and he had seen it go up. He drew me a picture, kind of a map of it, and he explained, I think it was his grandmother believed him, but most of the family did not. And it had always stuck with him. And it was a reminder that, whoa, this universe, this thing we call reality, this dimension that we're in, it's way bigger if you'll just allow. And I'm going to add pre-modern day, the wokeness stuff and Disney, how Disney's gone these days. I'm talking the original Disney with unlimited creativity, fun, sparkliness, and everything else. Like one of those original Disney films that was spectacular. That's how life can be for you in many more moments. In fact, much more than you would ever imagine is possible. You can glow, be radiant with grace, joy, love, fun. There's trillions of little micro levels going up a curve of higher and higher frequencies, like enthusiasm. Joy is way up there. Enthusiasm is way up there. Inner calm, peace, harmony, faith, hope. You get the idea. A lot of those are angel names, by the way, and actual angels you can meet. So I'm here to help you let go and kind of shine more, tap what you got. But even if you did it once, odds are you're going to tighten back up again, shut tight like an oyster up here. The world's no longer your oyster here. And who knows? Maybe that was it for the whole lifetime. The human brain has an incredible way of pulling a Julie McCoy and saying, wow, that was wonderful. I had tons of miracles. I saw a light. I got all my answers. Australians are number one at this. I think the record was 48, 49 pages in 9 hours. I just check in every couple hours. I got all my answers. I got my hugs. One hug's worth 100 questions. I got all this stuff. I got to see full on. But the brain's going to come in and be like, oh, yeah, no, no, we want to do this again. We heard from angels. We should check in once a month. But 6 months go by and you've forgotten. And you're like, well, I'll do it next month. 2 years goes by. You never did it again. 10 years goes by. You're like, ah, I'd love to. It's a great idea. We'll start next week. It's like exercise. It's like diet. It's like I should really change jobs to, I want to be a horticulturalist because it's been my passion all my life, a photographer, wildlife, deep sea. Uh, you never quite get to it. So like everything else in life, it's your choice where you want to put your focus, what decisions you want to make. And it's a function kind of how honest you want to be with yourself. How open do you want to be? One of the scariest things in the world is just being open. So the whole concept of like the woke stuff at its core is kind of correct in that you want to be as open as possible. Judging doesn't get you anywhere. It doesn't mean you're wrong about it. You could have the biggest jerk in the world leave 15 houses away from you. And every single person in the community, except for the jerk, agrees that that person is a jerk. But there's something bigger going on in the formulation of this energy. Do you really want to send negativity to someone else? Do you want to not maybe just allow for the possibility they could be Scrooge? And in a short while, angels are coming in. And in a short, I think in Scrooge, it was like 40 seconds of dream time, our regular time. 40 seconds that went through the whole movie, the whole book, whatever you're looking at. Um, to have a complete rearrange of the wiring and appreciation and gratitude. Again, beautiful vibrations. And to become a whole new person. It doesn't have to be that you had your arm bit off by a shark or a leg bit off or a car wreck or cancer or 6 cancers or 18 divorces. Um, it, some people only need to hear stuff once. That's pretty incredible. I'm the opposite. I'm like the guy who has to hear it 1,000 times before I'm like, oh, that's what you meant. But the good news is I'm a fast teacher. So let's take another step and do something else before we get to angels. So all I'm trying to say is this is about more kindness, gentleness, compassion. Yeah, be as critical as you want of anybody. They cut you off, start yelling, give them the finger, but how's it feel? You were kind of a jerk to somebody and they were a bigger jerk to you, but is that the right way to do it? Or can you just be appreciative? And maybe the situation was bigger. I always like to try to remember we don't know what their shoes are that they're wearing. And you'll hear that a lot from my guests and everybody else. I don't need to finish that thought, but the more you can allow, the more love comes in. It's just a constant. And if you could show love always, you're a saint. So it ain't going to happen all the time. Charlotte said, here's the Olympic gold medal for you, for me, for everybody. 7% less thinking a day. 7% less thinking a day. Now, I've done this calculator thing, God knows how many times, can never remember. Is it an hour and 42 minutes each day of less thinking? That means not sitting mindlessly in front of your phone. That means actually like touch a plant, lie in the grass, pet your dog. There's 1 million ways to be here. There's 40 million ways to be distracted. So if there's 24 hours in a day times 60, there's 1,440 minutes times 0.07. We're talking 100 minutes, an hour and 40 minutes a day. If you did a little less thinking for an hour and 40 minutes a day, you'll arrive. Where? Home. That's a Zen code word, your heart. Your heart is waiting for you. It's home plate in the baseball metaphor. Okay, I'm gonna show you my light. That's a big lighter. Just name any color out loud that you see right now. Is it white, gold, yellow, orange? You can't lose. Say something out loud. Get a little laugh. Here's another dad joke, more importantly. Where do rainbows go when they're bad? Prism, but it's a light sentence. Okay, be in your heart, put an emoji down if you like this. You're gonna have to hit the pause button a lot on this, but emoji, light, put a emoji down, like it, share with a friend. There's got to be somebody else out there that wants to see light. Okay, this is that Celestine prophecy method, but again, people were doing it in the 70s according to Sue Frederick before the movie was ever made. In India, they do it this way. It's awkward for me to do it this way. I'd do it that way in a heartbeat. Okay, you'll just see a little wisp of light between my finger, gold, green, yellow. Type color down if you're bold. Be like I saw yellow, blue, and green. Thank you very much for doing that. See a little hazy, clear, bubbly, sparkly, very bright, intense light. No triota. What's the only flower found on the human face? Tulips. Okay. I'm going to go bigger now. Catch vortices, a flower in between. Let angels, the universe, do something bigger. Again, most guests do this on the show. Can watch them do it. I think the brain, the more scientific and logical you are, the more mature you are, the more adult you are, the more successful you are, the more shut down you can be when you hear, oh, you could meet angels full on, or philosophers, or your loved ones, or your pet horse from when you were 12, or light beings, or galactic figures, or Mary, Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha. Imagine what happens if you're of a particular religious background and you're told you can actually just meet the religious figure, you can walk with them, and have them hold your hand. You can hear what you need to hear. You can have them be with you 24/7 and have a running dialogue. People do. You can do God. God, the way I describe God, this is a tricky one. You got to get some of this stuff done before you do God. God's really big, is the way I describe it. It's all voices at once speaking in unison, and it's cool. Um, but you just have to allow for this. And that seems to be where mankind falls flat on its face. It seems like the animals have it together better than the humans. So it's kind of like Animal Farm or something like that, or not. Um, they're more clear in their flow. They trust more. And that's where humanity could use a little leap of faith, religious or non-religious, and just chillax a little bit more. We do a lot of finger pointing and a lot of judging and a lot of resisting and a lot of reacting. Um, and it could immediately switch. The only way I could think that it switches is, and I'll put my hand up next so you can feel my vibe. If people started, everybody woke up the next day and you could see auras on people, not 24/7, but like half the day, a couple hours each day. You could just see auras on everyone and everything. It's pretty cool. I wouldn't recommend driving and trying to appreciate trees with light all over it, but everything has light. Everything is light. Um, it would probably change the way you operate because you run into somebody at a Starbucks and they're like, hey, do you want to go into business together? And they don't have great light on them. Their energy dimmed as they started to lie to you or propose something that wasn't good for you. They're coming from a bad place. You'd immediately be like, oh, I appreciate the offer, but no thanks. And the next person's like, hey, do you want to start a business with me? And their lights off the charts. You got angels showing up saying they're the one for you. Wouldn't it be easier doing business that way? And guess what? You can already do that stuff. You can actually also just get straight answers. Like, is this the group? Is this the group? Imagine what happens if you're in real estate or any of the other businesses where you could use a little help from the universe. In fact, pretty much every job description could use this type of invisible coaching. What will you allow for is the real rub. So let's take another baby step. I'm going to share my energy, but only 11 above. Really let angels be in charge of this. I put two angels up, so I'm going to put them back up again. Joy and Charlotte. Let them kind of run the show here. I'll put up Archangel Michael for those who are kind of like archangels and they got to have structure and safety. There's Michael one way, and there's Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, Uriel in those photos. Freeze frame it if you need to. It's stuff's on my website. Those photos are real photos. I took them with a Sure Shot camera a long time ago. I've been real lazy in the last couple of years. But you can go get those for like $3 a pop, and then you get a license to do, to have it. And for $3, it gets emailed to you, drop it onto your phone. You'll have it on your phone available anytime you need it. It's great to help you out, to let go. It's a great prop. I'd argue nowadays you don't need the photos and just see directly, but I think it's a great stepping stone if you're still not there yet for trusting the whole way. Um, Great photos, by the way, at the website. So check that out. 101 testimonials, like 87 or something written. I don't do a lot of testimonials anymore, although now I'm starting to ask some of my guests for them because the show is kind of like a testimonial unofficially. The show is really about the guest and, also about angels and them taking steps with the universe. But if you read between the lines, clearly stuff's happening and clearly it's like a video testimonial kind of. There's 11 testimonials that are amazing. I've got some of the nicest testimonials in the world from a Swede, from a Norwegian, from an Australian who's incredible recently, and then some other Americans. Holy cow, I'm really thankful for those video testimonials. I think you can feel their vibe. So, speaking of which, let's feel the vibe. I'm only going to put up one palm. Put your palm or two palms up wherever you are. You're in Sedona, you're in Santa Fe, you're in San Francisco, you're in New York, you're in Paris, Dubai. Allow, allow, allow. Feel a little pulse. If you got to close your eyes, that's fine. My unofficial rule is breathe through the mouth a little. 1 millimeter open's fine. Like you're getting a physical and the doctor has the stethoscope checking to see if you've got a pulse. Breathe. You're just getting into your field, into your body. Most of the stuff that when it's a problem in life, you're out of your body. You don't know it. You're in your mind so much you're not really enjoying the flow that is your body. You're kind of in sync with all this stuff to begin with. Feel what you can feel, put another emoji down or type something out. I'm going to start whooshing though. I'm going to blow or whoosh energy through my microphone's up there, through the screen. Allow, allow, allow. Don't care about this. Who cares? Breathe. Think of a pleasant vacation memory, the time you went rafting, inner tubing, skiing, just got a great massage, yoga, took the dog for a walk, or just noticed flowers. It was spring for the first time. Anything works. You know you. You're the one who has to kind of coach you and help you get around you out of your own way so you can be that unconditional love being you already are, have never stopped being, and can be again. And none of that's contradictory. So here you go. Here comes a little bit of whooshing energy. 1 million ways to feel it. Front, back, wind in the room, sparkles everywhere, yummy in the tummy. Close your eyes if you want halfway through. Feel a Hawaiian breeze, aloha, see the beach, hear the ocean waves. It's up to you. Go crazy. How was that? Play it over again if you need to play it over again. You're going to get another dad joke. I'll tell you how I got all my dad jokes back at university in Mumbai. I double majored in cloning, hide and seek. I never finished the program. I had to take a year off to find myself. Let me do another angel. She's watery. She's light waves of energy and water, like Mother Hawaii. She is Mother Hawaii. Guardian angel to about 80,000 people, including one of my guests and myself. That guest got to meet her on a California beach for half an hour, full on human, and sit down and chat. You can too. That is not an orb. So when people yell orbs, I feel like it's kind of like a mental crutch to just not. There's so many ways we like to talk about these topics that give us some form of extra comfort for here. It's not about being open here. This is about opening openness, to use a Tibetan expression. So leave your eyes on her, catch a little bit of Hawaii. She's very soft-spoken, professorial-like. Ask a question. Hey, what do I need to know in life right now, Min? That's the Lakota Sioux word for water, like Minnesota. Don't try to say her whole name. It's the most complex name out of like 300 figures. Minwala, if you have to know. Min, what do I need to know in life right now? Listen, it could be your voice for 3 seconds. The second you get comfortable, let go, or get over the fence, you'll hear, hey, you got this, like relax. But it'll be her way of doing it. She's very Pacific princess-like. If your eyes are closed, see her on a beach. The further away, the better. You might see her on a stand-up paddleboard out over the ocean, and you can still hear her and see her well, even though she's like a football field away. So this stuff's pretty easy to do. It's a lot to take in. Um, we'll maybe try to take some more steps in just a second. It just depends. I might be jumping off in a little bit. Um, but you have no limits on all of this stuff. It's the same degree of difficulty, none. It's the same degree of letting go. You're already there. There's no letting go. Your brain says otherwise. So it's really more about none of the externals. It's really more a reflection of how locked up are you in your brain? How much thinking are you doing? How much are you relying on your ego, stuck in your defenses, stuck in your structure, your rigidity, your male structure? Your panicked, fear resisting, reacting structure that's kept you safe, but doesn't let you actually get your scientific answers or your spiritual answers or hear what you're actually supposed to be doing with your life path right now. Um, and here's the contradiction. You're actually good where you are right now, no matter what's going on. Somehow that'll all make sense. Might not be until your last breath, but trust me when I say there are no contradictions here. You're absolutely good where you are. If you never took another step with an angel the rest of your life, you'd be fine. Probably a little more fun if you did. And if you wanted to get, your advisors, your unconditional love cheerleading squad, boy, wouldn't that be fun? They know you inside and out. They know what works. How do you think it's all been happening this whole time? What do you think your intuition is? Um, so here's, I guess, pointing back out to society. Try not to judge here because it's good how it is. Everyone's doing what they need to be doing. Again, I wouldn't want to change a thing. Go take all the workshops, go take all the courses, go to the institute, go to the retreat, sing Kumbaya 4,000 times and chant and do the folded legs and hop, hop, hop. Do whatever modality, pick up six more modalities, hang out a new shingle, become a healer. Do it any way you need to do it. But at the end of the day, it's not externally driven. So that's where it's really not about listening to folks like me. The only thing I think I'm different than most or all is I do the introductions. You get a chance to let go and full on see, and you can do it with other people. So you can have group seeing, group hearing, group feeling. And thank God I'm not on the skeptics organization list to be checked out or whatever. What do you do with the person who's shut down and is like, oh, I'm here to disprove that any of this is possible? I don't know. Okay, then you're not doing it. I can't change your mind for you, and I can't take your steps for you, and that's how life works. Ignorance, though, is no excuse, and you're responsible for how you spend your energy. So if you're running around kind of doing negativity to a lot of folks because you're like, you're not legit because it doesn't conform to my reality. You're not legit. That can't be considered love. Love is shiny, sparkly, and fun, no limits, and you have no limits. And so hanging around with fun, sparkly people is kind of a third of the game. Hanging out with angels is kind of cool. They're fun and sparkly. Let's do it this way. Let's not take any steps on the show. Let's accept this one. How do you have a surefire way of taking a step without taking a step? Very Zen-like. Just start telling the universe, yes. Hey, make it more exciting for me. Help me let go, drop my guard, help me let go of my details. I'm really stressed at work. I'm stressed about the lawn care. I can't get my grass. I got fungus. I can't get my grass green everywhere. I'm a maniac about this stuff. I've watched every YouTube video, bought every product. I even have a Czech Svardman, those electric mowers that get down to like a quarter inch, like a golf course putting green. They're incredible. A South African owned my house before me, and this guy had one. I inherited golf course lawns that I'm doing the best I can. I'm a little panicked about it, but I'll never make it look quite the way he had it before. Oh, it's always something. The human mind finds a reason to find fault with oneself. We don't do enough self-love. Go to a mirror and say, I love you. Just do it 4 times the first day. Every time you walk by a mirror, make a new roll. If you want to have a penny jar and a pocket full of pennies, Yeah, fine. Drop a penny into the jar, look into the mirror and say, I love you. Let the penny represent every time you invested in yourself. And leave a stack of pennies if you have to. Don't jingle as you walk around the house. I'm making this up as we go. Leave the stack of pennies at the other end of the counter. Get one, drop it in every time you say, I love you. That's a pretty good one. Try to just go for as many I love yous as you can till you actually let go and feel your vibe. You break through. There's an old there's a bunch of indigenous books that study indigenous cultures around the world and how they interact with the spirit world. And some are fascinating stories because, like an Eskimo type hunter, Irkutsk, maybe Russia, to start the seal hunting season, he goes to the sacred spot, big rock and a little rock in his hand. He rubs the two for so long, like maybe a day and a half, until the whole cliff face opens up and the seal spirits come out and greet him. And he has a good chat and it's productive and he's given permission to hunt seals. So he has a productive season. I don't know what happens if it fails, death, something. Don't mess with seal spirits. And I do have a baby seal joke. It'll be fourth grade, not kindergarten. But the point of this is letting go is easy, it's difficult, it's easy, it's difficult, it's difficult, it's easy, it's whatever you want it to be. And the brain will keep you going for decades or lifetimes in a row, convincing you that it's not possible. And so, no limits is really about love. And you've got all the love in the world right now. It's not conditional. You don't need the divorce to go through or this to happen or the promotion to come through. It's about letting go of the words. That's why I also love this service because you can go beyond words. You can get light symbols coming in. You can have visions. You can have a conversation that goes beyond the mind and English and or Swahili or Japanese or Russia. Again, anybody who speaks Russian can get it in Russian or German or French or Czech, whatever the way you want to communicate. You can also go to ancient Egypt and the Akashic records as part of those interdimensional trips. So few people grab me. I don't know how many bookings I've ever gotten from the show in 2.5 years. A stranger saying, I saw you on your show. I've been a guest on about 70 shows, so I've probably had dozens and scores of those types of folks watching me as a guest on someone else's show. But on my show, maybe three, four, five bookings. It's crazy. And it's good. I'm keep hearing from angels. I'm gonna be so busy, I'll look back at these days and be like, ah, what an oasis this is and was. So you have no limits. You can do this, and I have a baby seal joke for you. Baby seal shows up at a Western saloon, somehow like in Arizona. You know those double swinging doors from the cowboy movies. Now everyone's drinking whiskey and beer, playing poker, and all the cowboys stop and they look at the baby seal at the double doors, and it doesn't even touch the doors as it hops or scrunches in, makes its way to the bar stool, takes another half an hour to get up on top of the bar seat. And so people are talking, and out of the corner of their eye, they're watching the baby seal struggle to get up. But when it happens, applause breaks out. I mean, everyone puts their glasses down, clapping for the baby seal. And the bartender's been waiting for this moment. Comes over and says, what do you have? Baby seal says anything but a Canadian club on the rocks. Okay, so it wasn't a kindergarten joke, but if you're laughing, you're letting go. What else could I do? Let me do something else for you. I have to make this up. Oh, okay. Look at the light, Bic lighter. Now, let my finger be the Bic lighter, and you'll see the flame coming off my finger, and I'll try to line it up with that pole, or I'll try to line it up right there. Some people might have already just seen it. Rub your hands in a circle, or throw your hands like finger paint everywhere. Exhale like a whale. Ask angels, hey, angels, get me out of my head into my heart. Help me see with all of me. Your heart already knows how to hit the tennis stroke, to do this, to how to pull the plates out of the dishwasher. Do you not see how if you just slow down into a suchness moment, Satori, Samadhi, Shaktipat, everything is a miracle that you put your focus on. You're the miracle. Um, that's kind of the opening of this door to all, the gateless gate, the doorless door. Keep doing Zen stuff here or Tibetan stuff. Your Ziji, your brilliance. So I'm going to put my finger up. See if you can catch a little light coming off of it. My hand will be up too. Put a hand up, feel my vibe, but let it be angels kind of doing my energy for me. So I have a little bit of boundaries here. Okay, see if you can just see my light coming off of it. And here's another dad joke. What is the only flower found on the human face? Tulips. See a little bit of light right here. And iris is another answer somebody gave. So there's two answers to that. No try Yoda, always try Archangel Gabriel. Here, I'll put up all three angels that I've put up before. Joy, Charlotte, and Min. Ask a question. Hey, what do I need to know in life right now? Hear a voice. If it's one high peppy voice, it's Joy. If it's kind of a woman in her 50s, elegant, it's her. And if it's Pacific Princess, you'll just know uh, soft spoken, it'll be her. If it's all three, you're going to know. Okay, just leave your eyes on the photos. Put a hand on your heart if you need extra help. Ask angels to get you out of your head into your heart. Ask them, hey, what do I need to know in life right now? And hear a beautiful answer. If you're really struggling with all this, you'll just hear breathe, relax. You've got this. We've got you. And it might be your voice for the first second. The second you let go, though, you'll hear full on. And I'm going to do Yoda's voice. Ask a more complex question, but not your hardest question. Hey, what do I need to know for the rest of the week, for the month of July, for the rest of the year? What could I do less of? What could I do more of? What could I start doing, stop doing? What could I keep doing? That's a compliment. Get compliments. How can I show myself more love? How can I slow down more? Leave your eyes on them. Let them do their jobs. They'll move in the photo, by the way. We'll do Audrey Hepburn next. Photos can move. So this is, I mean, I'm off the hook for credibility on this stuff. Just leave your eyes on them. Ask what you need to know in life right now. Hear an answer. And I'm going to do Yoda's voice for you because my face is covered, so I'm not going to be embarrassed. And as I do Yoda's voice, you'll start laughing, leave your eyes on the photo, and you'll let go. Do not. There is no try. Could I have done that with a straight face? Nah, not on camera. Okay. One more angel photo, and no limits is no limits. Please check out the shows because guests share their experiences, near-death experiences, out-of-body experiences, this encounter, their modalities, how they help others. Some of them are so great for you to check out. But they also take steps during the show with angels. They get to do full seeing. They look out the window. Um, I had a wonderful person from New Zealand, Australia. I was so excited to have on. I guess kind of famous with one of the speeches they gave sometime. And they might have had a near-death experience or lost a loved one that was real close to them. So I might have helped them with one or the other. But then they got nervous, couldn't show up on the show. So that's okay. That happens. Maybe in a decade or so, which thanks to your likes, subscriptions, comments, and sharing this with your friends, we'll have grown this to such a size that I can turn around and they'll feel even more comfortable or pressured, I guess, because the big audience to come back on. Who knows? Okay, I'm going to show Audrey Hepburn's photo. She's an angel. She'll move in this photo. This is one of my two favorite photos to do this with. You get a wink, a smile, a shoulder waggle. Who knows? You'll get what you get. But why not catch a smell like a Milan perfume, a Paris perfume? What will you allow for is the ultimate rub that I've been trying to point to for the scientific community, the spiritual community. Each one of us is a human being with concepts that are so limited. What will you allow for daily is the rub for the intersection, the hub for everything. The rub and the hub. Let her wink, smile, eyebrow goes up, shoulder waggle, fingers. Hear her voice come straight through. Close your eyes. Feel a hand on your shoulder, or more, even better, small of your back. Between those two shoulder blades, feel the most elegant hand catch light coming through you, usually white light. It's like you're in the water waist deep at a beautiful beach looking back at the umbrella and your friend or your beach towel, and a wave comes up. And it's not a big wave, but it's enough to lift you an inch or two off the sand. So your whole body gets lifted up and drops right back down on the sand. And there's another wave coming. That's her light passing through you. Hear her voice full on? Pause this video and have a little moment. If you're really gung-ho, though, look out. Find a tree a football field away, half a football field away. Nervous Nelly, 3 football fields away. She's this tall. And have a tree where you can see her wave high and then have a conversation. If you've just skydove, I don't know how to say it, did skydiving and the parachute didn't open, and you lived, you bounced, 30-foot bounce, not a single broken bone. Every camera crew in your state or your country, national TV wants to interview you. You're that miraculous survivor that hasn't been one since 1979. Chute didn't open. Maybe you hit a couple tree branches or the canopy of a couple trees on the way down. It slowed your thing. That's how they explained it. Well, at least for a day or two, you're going to have no thinking. You're going to be like, oh my God, hi, pointed bird, pointy bird, I love you. And even the jerk neighbor, you're like, Frank, I love you, man. You're just going to be so excited to be alive. And that's called no thinking. And that's not going to last too long. You're still going to have to pay your taxes, get stuck in traffic, you get upset about something. Maybe not, though. That's the time where you ask Audrey Hepburn, Archangel Michael, a light being, to come in, sit with you at your kitchen counter. You can see him full on, full on. Want to see joy right now in this window? Okay, close your eyes and just ask angels to get you out of your head into your heart. Ask if you've got this. Put a hand on your heart, close your eyes. Ask joy. You don't need a photo. And you can see her as a little bit of light up here if you want. And there's a million ways to see her. She's been every color by now. I'm not going to spend any time on this. Um, Ask her if you could see her here at this end, or if you've got like a place looking over your shoulder in the big living room or something, or out on the patio or the balcony or the roof at the building across the way, because it's easy to see right there. Ask her if you've got this. Look out and allow for her to do her job. The whole point of this talk today is to get out of your own way into your heart. You've already got this. You're already doing it. Have you ever ridden a bike? Do you analyze riding the bike every time you get back on the bike? Oh, I'm not sure if I'm seated on the seat the right way. And you just maniacally analyze the riding the bike as you're riding the bike with maybe a couple friends. Every second of every moment of every square meter of the, or every foot of this ride, every second you're obsessed with position on the seat or the bike pedals, or did I strap in right? Am I wearing the chin strap the right direction? Is the helmet the right way? You worry about your teeth that way. Are you like 3 Tuesdays ago? Did I get the left molar, you know, here? I can get this right. Did I get my left upper molar? Did I brush it enough? And you're lost sleep over it. Welcome to being human on every major issue that you think's major. But think about all the minor issues that you're somehow your ego is like, oh, that's not important. When you hit that light switch, did you do it fast enough, slow enough? Did the lights come on? Do I need to get an electrician? You could obsess over anything, and yet you do obsess over what you think the important stuff is, or what the news is telling you, or something else. The whole lesson here is life itself. How are you attuned? How are you aligned? Are you paying attention in the slightest? Half the people who are getting Nobel laureates or super successful or absolutely the number one at what they're doing, number one meteorologist, number one scientist, number one this, number one traffic light fixer, they can still be out of the game in their mind on half of their, compartments in life or more. We all do tons of thinking. As soon as I get off, I'm going right back to thinking. Hopefully not. But you get the idea. Welcome to being human. And this isn't a judgment on anybody. This is just how it is. Humans, have we gone peaceful, kind, and shiny and sparkly just yet? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe there's a higher vibe coming. Maybe there is a higher vibe already here. I see lots of people with open minds, so I should be very complimentary here, and lots of people who have patience to take any of these steps. Whoa, that's kind of incredible that they're even taking these steps. You have no limits. So you have to find a way to find your own mantras, your mudras, you know, meet Thich Nhat Hanh, meet Buddha, see Buddha, get advice. Not a lot of people are willing to stay open long enough to go absolutely crazy and start enjoying the ride more. You can have so much more fun on everything. And imagine what happens if you get some good business advisors. There's certain stuff you can just completely unleash, unlock. And if you wanted to move a dime, I think we've had two people spend a little bit of time, a lot of time and a little bit of time to get a dime move thanks to angels. I mean, there's no limits here. I don't know how else to say it, so I won't say it anymore. Let me try to leave you with one more fun concept. I'll leave you with a quote from someone famous. Well, here's kind of what I was talking about. Karl Hammerschlag, who's passed over, I really wished I could have gotten him as a guest, but he was in the middle of a health crisis and passing over, and he wrote a really nice note, at least. That was cool. I guess he's close buds with Patch Adams, the doctor who wears the clown nose that has got it right for humor and laughter. Would love to have him on the show, but you got to write a handwritten letter, and I've been lazy. I need to write that letter to him to see if he'd like to come on. If he said, I think this is from Karl Hammerschlag's book, Dancing Healers. If you have to be sure of what you're experiencing in the now, you will always subordinate reality of present to the certainties of past. Wow. And that's what a lot of experts are like, well, none of this is possible. I think it's Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance. There's an expression in it or a phrase from the book Truth comes knocking on the door and you yell, "Go away, I'm looking for the truth." Strange, but true. So if it's ghost hunters and you're like, "Hey, do you want to meet angels?" They're like, "Nah, go away. We're doing ghost exploration stuff." If it's the angel community and you're like, "Hey, do you want to meet angels?" They're like, "Ah, no, go away. We're looking for angels." It's the Buddhist community, and that's not the case. I had a Buddhist chaplain on who's amazing. Check out his show. Love him to death. He's so chill and he's so open. But a lot of folks doesn't. It's not about the community that they're in. They're a scientist, hardcore astrophysicist. They're this, they're that. It's actually just about the human nature thing, the duality thing. We attribute too much self-importance, the ancient burden of self-importance, and that all our thinking and our mankind logic and knowing precludes the universal knowing and openness and love that's the fabric of the universe that's completely available anytime you want it. So we sort of have things upside down. That was kind of a judgment, but whatever. You get the idea. I mean, you know some of this has to be resonating. Let's give you a few more quotes. Better than 1,000 hollow words is one word that brings peace. Buddha. Okay. A man should look for what is and not for what he thinks should be. What is perfect how it is in your life, all of it. Allow for what already is. In the end, love is what shows us life in different colors. That came from a Netflix movie. I love, you'll hear this quote the most in all my shows. You change the way that you shape the light which is flowing through you by changing your consciousness. Wayne Dyer, you can meet him. He said, the things you look at change when you change the way you look at them. Something like that. I messed it up. Albert Einstein also said the only source of knowledge is experience. And I would argue also, and this is coming from an Olympic commentator, experience is what you get when you don't get what you want. So there's so much more judging we're doing on everything. There's a need to know. There's a need to know, well, hey, how come I'm not there yet? You're judging everything. Even if you don't know you're judging. We're all judgy McJudgerson. It's the aspect of the ego, the logos, the rationale, the brain, the adult mental state. And that's a real good way to put it. It's why helicopter parents are doing what they're doing, or the helicoptering over the kids. The kids have it together better than we do. The deer have it better together than we do. They're at peace. They're in inner harmony. There's not $1 billion for an individual. If they're at peace and smiling and in harmony with all, there's nothing more important than that. Sometimes it takes you losing your health to appreciate this. So you have it all right now, no matter how far into your life you are. You're 82 years old and you're actually having this. You just have to get out of here and to get here and breathe in love. Love comes into your lungs, it goes the quantum field. You have a giant bit of rainbow light. Not everybody, some people have different backgrounds. There's a lot of visitors here, whether in human form or other form, meant to help us all out. And it's incredible how much there's a tipping point going on. If you would just allow more, show love always every other week, once a day, once an hour, let's go crazy. What will you allow for? That's the true rub. You need some outs here, like, hey, I'm not sure about all this, da 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 da. Just tell the universe, hey, I'll take dream time experiences and I might not remember them, but I'll take dream time experiences and I want to remember them. I'll take complete strangers walking up to me I'm in the line for the coffee shop, Starbucks, and a complete stranger comes up and I have the best conversation for 5 minutes and I find out and I realize later it was an angel. Holy cow. We have a lot of those. I've had angels show up in Maui, Sweden, New York, Austin, Vegas, different points in my life. Just checking in, making sure I'm doing okay. It's a long story. Try to share those on some of the other shows. This is everything I could possibly think of at the moment. I always say the same thing over and over again because that's kind of where I am right now. If it's groups of people that you can group feel, you could see the light flowing. I had a couple, they're the naturopaths. I forgot their names. Eek, from Colorado, really sweet couple, still in love. They got to see their light flowing between them. I don't think I did that on air. Maybe we did. But you could see the light flowing between you. And if you're dancers, I don't know if ballerinas are the best example because they could be a little like this. But pretend we've got even kitchen staff. Ooh, another bad example. But a kitchen staff that's the 1 in 100 that loves each other. They just psychically know how to get out of each other's way. They're like, I'm coming by. They're Michelin 5 star, maybe not, maybe 3 star only. But they just know how to flow together. Bandmates that are getting along, not the ones that are like this and about to break up. They can see their light. You can see their light while they play. A concert's the best thing in the world. Look at the bass guitarist or the drummer. You can see the light on them. If you're in a movie theater, pick 5 rows down, back of the head. Do so politely. Don't pry. You can see the filament of light all over them, the aura. Restaurants, I think, are my favorite. People eating and the chatting going on. It's like a giant cocktail party. Pick somebody, and that's when you're going to really let go and see with all of you and connect to the way you're already connected to the whole universe and everyone around you. That's when you're going to see the light. You accidentally do it sometimes. And these recessed lights, first thing in the morning, before you brush your teeth, before you can do an English sentence, you have to leave a post-it note somewhere so you're like, oh yeah. Before you have coffee or brush your teeth, come out to the kitchen, the bathroom, wherever, look at the light. Pretty quickly, you're going to see a beach ball of rainbow light. It's not every morning, but when you're open and you've gone somewhere in your dreams and you're reset, you'll see rainbow light, but you also watch it go down to nothing. You'll think it to death and you'll squash it. And so that's kind of what this is all about. You can't help yourself. You're going to be doing thinking. Unfortunately, it's not in the cards for humanity to let go of thinking. And that's, again, everything I've been saying is angels today, and that's another one of those things. Um, you can get Listening to Angels. I had it as $3.99, the book, for since 2014. I've been asking, when can I raise the price? It's now $7.99. Angels, I think, said last year, make it $7.99. It's your best value for, I think there's 7 or 8 angel photos in there. Instead of paying $24, it's $7.99. You get all those photos. It's 100% written by angels. If anybody thinks I wrote this, you are fabulous. You're the best. I have like 25 book reviews on Amazon. I think 23, 22 or 5 star, 2 or 4 star, one's 3 star, or something like that. We got rid of the 1 star. Yay. It was such a jerk, long thing. And yeah, some people you can never make happy. It doesn't matter what you do. And if a person just wants to pay attention, that's the whole thing here. Not do monkey mind. You can get everything. Kick the human, kick me out of the way, and have the direct dance with the universe. It's exciting. I've got to say goodbye here. I'll leave you with one more dad joke. It's Santa's reindeer, Blitzen, and Dancer. You don't have to remember who these guys are. Why do Blitzen and Dancer drink so much coffee? Because they're Santa's Starbucks. Yes. Please put an emoji down again. It doesn't matter if you did 5 different emojis throughout the whole show or recording. No one's keeping track except the algorithm, and that's where it helps. You're going to help someone else stumble on this. Put a comment down too. Just be like, fun video. That's all you have to do. You got political cover. I said, do a fun video comment. That's it. It really does make a difference, though. And if you give anybody who's into this stuff, somebody wants their answers. It could be a hardcore scientist who's studying Tahitian volcanoes or earthquakes or whale movements. Why wouldn't they want to have more fun? Why wouldn't they want to learn how to listen and talk to the whales? Everything talks. Dolphin consciousness, direct dolphins, your dog. I've got a dog here. So it doesn't have to be, I mean, it should be your pets, obviously, but you can talk to your passed over dog as well. No limits is no limits. That's what this is all about. Okay. Wishing you a happy 2025 and beyond. Really appreciate your patience here. And thank you very much. Take care.